The Human Who Changed an Empire. Jace struggled to stand as the last flicker of golden light faded from his hands. His body felt heavy, every muscle trembling from the sudden burst of power he had never known existed within him. The Empress supported him, her grip firm but gentle. "Easy," she said. "Your body is adjusting." Jace shook his head slowly. "This power, it doesn't feel like mine." "It is," she said, her voice calm. "But you have carried it in silence your entire life." He took a shaky breath. "Why now? Why did it awaken today?" She looked at him with an expression he had never seen before. Not command, not cold authority, but sincerity. "Because you finally stepped into the path fate prepared for you." Before he could answer, a loud alarm rang across the chamber. Voices echoed through distant hallways. Weapons clashed, soldiers shouted, explosions rumbled like thunder. The Empire was under full attack. Not just assassins, not just shadows, but a full invasion. The Empress stood tall, her armor glowing brighter as she summoned her royal energy. "We must reach the throne core," she said. "If the enemy seizes it, the entire empire falls." Jace felt fear rise again, but this time something else rose with it. Determination, a fire inside him that refused to die. They ran through the collapse-damaged corridors. The palace trembled with each impact. Statues shattered, crystal walls cracked, guards sprinted to defensive posts. Flashes of red and blue energy lit the halls as battles erupted everywhere. Shadowborn poured through the cracks in reality like liquid darkness, their whispers crawling through the air. "Find the human. Take the spark. Break the prophecy." Jace tightened his fists. His hands glowed again, faint, unstable, but real. "I won't run anymore," he whispered. The Empress looked back at him, pride in her eyes. "You no longer walk behind me," she said. "You walk beside me." The words filled him with a strength he didn't know he needed. Together, they pushed forward, fighting through waves of shadow creatures, dodging collapsing pillars, moving through fire and falling debris. But when they reached the final chamber, the grand core hall, they froze. Something massive had broken through the floor. A creature taller than a war mech, made of shifting shadow and red flame. Its voice rumbled like an earthquake. "Human, you cannot escape your destiny." Jace felt the same cold fear as before, but he also felt the Empress's presence beside him, strong and unshaken. "Do not listen to it," she said. "Your destiny is not theirs to decide." The Shadow Titan lifted an arm made of living darkness and slammed it toward them. Jace reacted instinctively. Golden light burst from his hands again, forming a shield around both him and the Empress. The impact shook the entire hall, but the shield held. Jace gasped. "It listened to me." "It responds to your heart, not your fear," the Empress said. The Shadow Titan roared with rage. "You are incomplete, human. You cannot win." Jace stood tall now, the fear burning away. "I don't need to be complete to protect her," he said, voice steady. "And I'm not fighting alone." The Empress drew her energy blade, glowing with fierce blue fire. I stand with him, she declared, and together we will end you. The Shadow Titan charged. The Empress leapt forward with lightning speed, striking with precision. Jace followed, golden power swirling around his arms like living flame. Their powers collided with the Titan in a burst of blue and gold light. The chamber shook violently, the shock wave ripping through the stone walls. The Shadow Titan roared again, stumbling back as cracks formed across its dark body. "This is impossible," it hissed. "The prophecy said the human must fall." Jace stepped forward, energy blazing from his hands. Then the prophecy was wrong. He raised both hands. Golden light surged outward, stronger than ever. The Shadow Titan shrieked as the light enveloped it, tearing apart its shadow form. Its body crumbled into dust, dissolving into sparks of fading darkness. Silence followed. A deep, powerful silence that filled the entire hall. Jace collapsed to one knee, exhausted. The Empress rushed to his side, holding him up. "You did it," she whispered. "You defeated something even my empire feared." Jace shook his head weakly. "We did it." She smiled, a real smile, warm and rare. "Yes," she said, "we did." The remaining shadows retreated, their whispers fading into nothing. The palace alarms quieted. Soldiers moved through the corridors, reporting victory, securing the halls. But Jace didn't hear any of it. He only heard the Empress's voice and the steady beat of his own heart. "Empress," he whispered, "what happens now?" She touched his face gently, a gesture no one had ever seen from her. "Now," she said, softly, "you train." Jace blinked. "Train?" "Yes," she said. "You will learn to control your power. You will learn what it means to be a guardian, and you will stand by my side, not as a mechanic, but as the protector fate chose for me." Jace stared at her, stunned. "You really believe I can do this?" Her eyes glowed with soft blue fire. "I chose you," she said, "and I do not choose wrong." Jace felt something inside him shift. Hope, courage, strength, everything he thought he lacked, everything he thought he could never be. He rose to his feet slowly, still bruised, still tired, but no longer afraid. "Then I'll stand with you," he said, "as long as you need me." Her expression softened. "I will always need you, Jace Orion." And in that moment, in the heart of a broken palace, under the glow of ancient lights, a simple human mechanic became something the galaxy had never seen before. A guardian reborn, a protector chosen by destiny, the human who changed an empire. Across the galaxy, the news of Earth's return spread like wildfire. No one understood how humans came back after 500 years. No one understood how their ships blocked every weapon. And no one understood why humans were silent, cold, and unshaken. In the grand halls of the Galactic Union's Senate, chaos erupted. Leaders shouted, screens flashed alerts, and soldiers ran across the floor. The Union speaker, a tall insectoid named Vorus, slammed his staff on the ground. "Order," he demanded, though his trembling mandibles betrayed his fear. "Humans have returned," an officer reported. "Their fleet is unlike anything documented. No scans can read their engines, weapons, or shields." The Senate chamber fell silent. Every representative remembered old stories about humans. Stories of a species that learned faster than anyone, adapted faster than anyone, and fought harder than anyone. Then the doors burst open as a messenger shouted, "A second message from Sol System." The room leaned forward in suspense. The messenger read it aloud, his voice shaking. "Earth has reclaimed its borders." The chamber erupted again. Some screamed that humans would conquer the galaxy. Others said humans would destroy anyone who challenged them. Some wanted to negotiate. Others wanted to attack before humans grew even stronger. In the middle of the chaos, one voice spoke with surprising calm. General Karen of the Drakthi Empire, a reptilian warrior known for defeating impossible enemies. She raised her claw and said, "We cannot act on fear. We must understand what humans want." But before she could continue, the big screen behind her lit up. A new alert flashed red. Multiple human ships approaching the neutral zone. The Senate fell silent as footage from a drone appeared. It showed a squadron of human warships moving quietly through space. Their engines made no sound. Their path cut through darkness like ancient beasts returning to their hunting grounds. "They are not attacking," Forrest whispered. "They are watching." The room felt colder at his words. Meanwhile, in the Sol System, Commander Aiden Cross stood at the bridge window. Earth glowed below him, untouched, pure, and beautiful. But around it, alien wreckage drifted quietly. The defeated Valorian ships floated lifeless like broken toys. Aiden did not feel pride. He felt something darker, something heavier. His mission was not conquest, it was something older, something hidden. "Commander," his officer called, "we are receiving transmissions from at least 40 alien governments. They all want to speak with you." Aiden shook his head slowly. "Not yet. We are not here to negotiate. We are here to restore the order that was lost." His officers exchanged worried glances. None of them knew the full truth behind their return. Only Aiden knew the message Earth sent from deep underground. Only he knew Earth had awakened something ancient. Suddenly, a warning alarm beeped. A massive alien fleet was approaching. It was the Coalition of 40, the largest combined military force the galaxy had ever seen. They arrived in waves of silver, blue, and crimson ships, thousands of battleships forming a wall that stretched across the stars. Their flagship appeared at the front, glowing with 10 shield layers. The Coalition's Supreme Admiral, Zarketh, sent a message. His voice echoed across human channels, deep and furious. "Human fleet, you are an unknown threat. You have disabled a sovereign military force. Surrender your technology and submit to Coalition inspection." Every human officer looked toward Aiden in disbelief. Submit? Surrender? Words humans had never accepted in any history. Aiden responded with a calm voice. "The Valorians fired first. We defended ourselves, and we will not surrender Earth." Zarketh replied instantly. "Then we do this the hard way." Parts of the galaxy held their breath. Some expected a long battle. Some believed the Coalition would overpower humans with sheer numbers. But the truth would shock them all. The Coalition fired every weapon they had. Beams, cannons, missiles, gravity bombs. The entire starfield turned white from the light of the attack. A normal fleet would collapse. A normal species would surrender. But humans did not move. They did not flinch. Their shields shimmered with a strange golden light. Then something terrifying happened. Every alien screen began to glitch. Warships malfunctioned. Targeting systems froze. Coalition captains panicked and shouted for help. "What is happening? Our systems are collapsing. We cannot fire. We cannot move."
A silent ripple spread from the human flagship. Soft, invisible, unstoppable. It touched each alien ship and shut down their weapons, shut down their engines, shut down their shields, like a father gently pushing a child aside. Not a single alien ship could fight. Not one. The galaxy watched live as the strongest combined fleet in history fell powerless in front of a human armada that did not fire a single shot. Admiral Zarketh whispered in fear, "What are you?" Aiden answered with the same calm certainty. The species that survived the dark and returned stronger. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy understood a truth it had forgotten. Humans were not extinct. Humans were not weak. Humans were the storm waiting in the shadows. And the storm had finally come home.
The galaxy was still shaking from the defeat of the Coalition fleet. But inside the human flagship, the atmosphere was quiet and heavy. Commander Aiden Cross stood alone in the observation chamber, watching Earth rotate beneath him like a silent guardian in the dark. The message from Earth kept repeating in his mind, "Commander, begin the reclamation." He had waited for that message for years, but hearing it now felt heavier than he imagined. A soft hum echoed through the room as the ship AI spoke. "Commander, the planet's surface is stable. We can begin descent at your command." Aiden nodded slowly. "It's time." Human dropships launched from the fleet and descended toward Earth. Their hulls cut through the clouds with silent precision. The world below was beautiful, untouched, almost sacred. Forests stretched across continents. Oceans glittered like mirrors. The air was clean, pure, as if Earth had been preparing for its children's return. Aiden's ship landed in the middle of an old valley, a valley that existed on every ancient human map, but was erased from every alien record. The Valley of Origin, a place no alien ever discovered, because the valley hid something older than the galaxy itself. Aiden stepped out onto the grass. He felt the wind against his face for the first time in 500 years. His crew followed, staring in awe at the beauty of their true home. "Commander," Lieutenant Mara said softly, "are we sure it is here?" Aiden looked at the ground. "It has always been here." Then the earth trembled beneath their feet. The ground cracked in a perfect circle. Light rushed out like a rising sun, and a massive metallic platform emerged from the soil, smooth, shining, and far more advanced than their own ships. The crew gasped in shock. "Is this human technology?" Mara whispered. Aiden shook his head. "It is, but not from our generation. This is from the humans who lived before the silence." The platform opened, revealing a deep staircase descending underground. Aiden walked forward without hesitation. The air grew warmer, the lights brighter. Every step felt like walking back in time. At the bottom was a gigantic chamber. Its walls pulsed with blue veins of energy. In the center stood a colossal sphere made of silver and light. It floated above the ground, humming softly. Alive, ancient, waiting. Mara stepped closer. What is this?" Aiden answered with a quiet voice. "The core, the last creation of the first humans." As if hearing his words, the sphere lit up. A beam of light scanned Aiden, then a voice echoed across the chamber. A calm voice, deep and familiar. "Welcome home, Aiden Cross." The crew froze. Aiden stepped forward slowly. "You know me?" The sphere pulsed gently. "I know all who carry the blood of Earth." The room grew warmer as the core continued. 500 years ago, humans discovered a threat, and species older than the galaxy itself. Creatures born from the void. Creatures your ancestors called the Harvesters. Mara felt her heart drop.
The things that destroyed old colonies? The core responded, yes. They devoured planets and left only ash. Humanity realized they were not strong enough to win. So, they disappeared, Aiden whispered. They hid. The core glowed brighter. They hid to evolve. They hid to learn. They hid to build weapons the galaxy had never seen. And they left me here to awaken only when it was time to return. Aiden's jaw tightened. So why did you call us back now? The core stopped glowing. The chamber fell into a thick silence. Only the soft hum of energy remained. Then the voice returned, colder, heavier, sharper. Because the harvesters are coming again. The crew went still. Fears settled in their eyes like a shadow. Aiden stepped closer. How long? The core replied, the first swarm will reach the galaxy within months. The full swarm will follow. If humanity had not returned, the galaxy would fall. Outside the chamber, the air shifted. Clouds above Earth began to swirl as if responding to the core's awakening. Aiden clenched his fists. So everything we built, our training, our hidden fleets, our long silence, it was all preparation? The core answered, yes, but you are not ready. The lights in the chamber dimmed. Aiden felt a cold whisper crawl across his spine. What do you mean? The core expanded, showing a hologram of the galaxy. Thousands of red points moved like insects in the dark. The approaching swarm, more massive than anything recorded in history. Your technology is strong, the core said, but the harvesters are older, smarter, and evolving. Mara stepped back in horror. So even humans, even we cannot stop them. The core replied, you can, but only if you unlock the last weapon your ancestors left behind. Aiden stared at the core, his voice steady. Where is it? The core lowered its light. The chamber turned cold. Its next words froze the crew in absolute silence. The weapon is not on Earth. It is not in your ships. It is inside the commander of the fleet. Aiden's breath caught. Mara took a step back, shocked. The core continued, it is in you, Aiden Cross. You carry the key. The chamber pulsed violently as the truth filled the air. The fate of humanity was not in their ships or weapons. It was in the man standing alone in the ancient chamber. Commander Aiden, the one chosen by Earth itself, the one who held the secret to stopping the oldest enemy in existence. But he had no idea what the key inside him even was.
The ancient chamber trembled as Aiden stared at the core. His mind raced, his heart beat loud in his ears. He carried a key inside him, a key to a weapon the first humans created, a key meant to stop the harvesters. But he had no memory of it, no understanding of it, no control over it. Lieutenant Mara stepped closer, her voice thin with fear. Commander, what does it mean? Aiden shook his head slowly. I don't know. The core glowed brighter. It was placed inside you before you were born. A genetic lock, a dormant power, waiting for the signal to awaken. Aiden felt cold air sweep across the chamber. He looked at the floating sphere with narrowed eyes. So you are telling me the fate of humanity is inside me? The core replied without emotion. Yes, without the key, Earth falls. Without the key, the galaxy falls. Without the key, the harvesters win. Silence fell. Again, thick and heavy. Aiden clenched his jaw. This was bigger than anything he ever imagined. He thought he was returning home to protect Earth, but now he realized Earth had prepared him to protect the galaxy. Before anyone could speak again, the chamber shook violently. Dust fell from the ceiling. Lights flickered. The ground cracked under their feet. Mara grabbed the wall. "What is happening?" The core's voice darkened. "They have found Earth." Aiden's eyes widened. "You mean—" "Yes," the core whispered. "The harvesters have arrived." A thunderous roar echoed above them. Not a natural sound, not a normal sound. It was a sound that felt alive, a sound older than stars. Aiden sprinted up the staircase with his team. They emerged on the surface, and what they saw froze them in place. The sky was tearing open. Black lightning erupted across the clouds. A massive circular rift expanded above Earth. Dark, churning, hungry. Something monstrous was forcing its way through. A fleet of human warships rushed into formation. Sirens blared across the Sol system. The human armada prepared for battle, but even they seemed uncertain. They had never seen an enemy like this. Aiden tapped his comm. "To all ships, battle stations. Protect Earth at all costs." The first harvester emerged from the rift. It was not a ship. It was a living machine, a gigantic creature of metal and shadow. Its body stretched kilometers. Its 6 eyes glowed like dying suns. Its mouth opened like a black hole devouring light. Mara whispered in terror, "This thing, it eats planets." More harvesters followed, dozens, then hundreds. The sky darkened as their swarm spread across the heavens. Each one pulsed with ancient energy, energy strong enough to erase worlds in minutes. The human fleet fired the first shot. A beam of pure white energy shot from the flagship and hit the nearest harvester. But the creature absorbed the beam like water soaking into sand. Its eyes turned toward the human fleet with slow, terrifying intention. Aiden felt his pulse quicken. "They are stronger than before." The core's voice echoed in his headset. "Yes, they adapted over centuries. They have learned to feed on energy weapons." More harvesters fired beams of dark energy. Entire human squadrons dodged desperately. One harvester beam grazed a human cruiser. The metal dissolved instantly. The ship vanished in seconds as if swallowed by darkness. Aiden's heart tightened. This was not a battle they could win with normal weapons. Then something unexpected happened. The harvesters paused. Every creature in the sky turned its head toward Earth, toward the valley, toward Aiden, as if they could smell the key inside him. Mara gasped in terror. "They're searching for you." Aiden felt the truth hit him like a blade. He was not a soldier today. He was the target. He carried something the harvesters feared, something born to end them. His comm beeped rapidly. Dozens of human officers spoke at once. "Commander, they're moving toward your location. We cannot hold them back. We need orders." Aiden looked up as the biggest harvester descended from the rift. Its shadow swallowed the valley. The ground trembled under its weight. Its 6 burning eyes focused directly on him. The core's voice whispered in his ear, "Aiden, the key inside you must awaken. Only then can you stop them." Aiden clenched his fists. "How do I awaken it?" The core answered with chilling calm. "You must face the harvester alone." Mara grabbed his arm in shock. "Commander, no! You can't fight that thing. You're human." Aiden looked at her with steady eyes. "I am human, and that is exactly why I have to do this." The ground shook as the giant harvester lowered its body. Its massive jaws opened, releasing a roar that shattered stone.
Its 6 eyes glowed brighter. It began charging a beam strong enough to erase half the planet. Aiden stepped forward, alone, unarmed, facing a monster that destroyed civilizations, because somewhere buried inside him, humanity had hidden its final hope, its final weapon, its final answer to extinction. And now the galaxy waited to see whether a single human could stop the oldest enemy in existence.
The giant harvester stared down at Aiden, its 6 burning eyes locked on him as if he were the center of the universe. The ground trembled under its weight. The air vibrated with its dark energy. Its jaws opened wider, pulling light into its throat like a black hole. A beam was forming, strong enough to erase the valley, strong enough to erase Earth, strong enough to erase everything. Human ships tried to intervene. Destroyers fired rail beams. Cruisers launched shock missiles. The flagship Erebus unleashed its gravity cannons. But nothing worked. The harvester absorbed every attack like it was feeding, growing stronger, hungrier, closer. Mara screamed from behind Aiden, "Commander, step back! You can't face this thing alone!" Aiden didn't move. He stood perfectly still, his eyes locked on the creature, his breath deep and calm. Inside him, something ancient began to stir. The harvester lowered its head. Its beam reached full power. Dark energy spiraled around its jaws, creating a vortex of pure destruction. The galaxy had seen harvesters before, but never one this strong, never one this focused, never one this afraid. Because it wasn't targeting Earth, it was targeting Aiden. The core's voice rang in Aiden's mind. "Aiden Cross, you must awaken the key." Aiden clenched his fists. How? Light began to pulse inside his chest, a soft, glowing warmth at first, then brighter, then blinding. His heartbeat synced with the ancient hum of Earth itself. The core whispered again, "You are the vessel. The key is your life force. It was placed in your bloodline 500 years ago." Aiden gasped as light spread through his veins. His skin glowed like heated metal. His eyes turned white with blazing energy. Every cell in his body burned with power not meant for ordinary humans. Mara stared in shock. "Commander, what is happening to you?" Aiden's voice echoed with layers, human voice mixed with something older. "I don't know, but this is what I was made for." The harvester unleashed its beam. A massive column of dark energy shot toward Aiden with unstoppable force. The ground cracked open. Mountains shook miles away. The sky split into violent streaks of black lightning. Aiden raised his hand, instinctively, fearlessly. The beam hit him directly. But it didn't destroy him. It didn't consume him. It didn't break him. The beam bent around him like water around a stone. The ground behind him remained untouched. Not a single blade of grass burned. The galaxy watched the live feed in stunned silence. A single human standing against a planet killer and surviving. Aiden stepped forward. His voice thundered like a living storm. "You destroyed our ancestors. You hunted us. You forced humanity to disappear, and now you want to finish what you started." The glow around him intensified. But humans do not break. Humans evolve. Humans rise. The air shook as his power awakened fully. The ancient key unlocked inside him. The valley exploded with golden light. Earth itself responded. Winds roared, oceans trembled, mountains echoed his heartbeat. A giant symbol formed in the sky above him, the symbol of the first humans, the lost emblem of Earth's original empire, a mark feared by ancient enemies, including the harvesters. For the first time in its existence, the harvester stepped back, afraid. Aiden lifted both hands. A sphere of pure white energy expanded around him, growing larger, brighter, heavier, until the entire sky glowed like a new star rising over Earth. "This ends now," he thundered.
He thrust the energy toward the harvester. The blast reached the creature instantly, not destroying its body, not breaking its armor, but tearing its ancient soul apart. The creature shrieked, a sound of terror, pain, and defeat. The creature disintegrated into dust, burning away into the wind. The remaining harvesters in the sky froze. Every one of them sensed what just happened. Their greatest weapon, their strongest soldier, their ancient champion, destroyed by a single human. They turned in fear, retreating through the rift they came from. The sky cleared as the rift closed. The darkness vanished. The winds calmed. Earth returned to silence. Aiden collapsed to his knees, exhausted. The glow around him faded slowly, but he was alive. Humans rushed toward him. Mara caught him before he fell. "You did it. You saved us." Aiden looked up at the sky, his voice soft. This was only the first wave. The Core's voice returned, gentle and proud. The harvesters now fear humans. They will regroup, but so will you. You carry the key, and Earth carries its chosen defender. Above them, the human fleet hovered proudly, invincible guardians of their reborn world. Alien governments watched in silence, their fear replaced with awe, respect, and realization. Humans had not returned to conquer, not to destroy, not to claim power. They had returned to protect the galaxy from an enemy older than light. And for the first time in thousands of years, the galaxy understood one truth, a truth carved into every survivor's memory. When humans came home, the stars found their strongest defenders, and the galaxy would never forget the day Earth rose again.